This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. Well, Jim Jones has been talking spicy about Lil Wayne lately. I noticed on Hip Hop DX that he was talking about that, Lil Wayne got all his swag from him and took it to another level. What else did he say? He said something else like that. And I was like, you could see that. Everybody knows when, what do you say? Jim Jones says Lil Wayne revamped his style after spending an entire summer with Dipset. I mean, that's pretty true. They both got things from each other. Really, Juelz and Wayne were tight, right? And, basically, Juelz and Dipset gave Wayne an upgrade with just how he dressed and his style and everything. We all get it from somewhere, right? Wayne got it from here. It upgraded him a little bit. But Lil Wayne had a different kind of hustle than them as far as it came to shows. Juelz was touring more with Lil Wayne around that time and really upgraded his life a little bit more. He showed him that road hustle, and they got stuff from each other. And it was a good connection. Down south, New York, it was good. It was a good connection. At one point, it just went south. Now, Jim Jones, and not in a horrible way, just like where they just didn't speak as much anymore. I think it's when people in Dipset, I'm not saying who in Dipset, started talking about Wayne got a style from Dipset years later. I'm talking like 3 or 4 years after when like Lil Wayne really blew up with Lollipop around, what was that, 2009? They were talking more spicy about that, the swag part. But anyways, Jim Jones says at one point he wanted to put Paws on Lil Wayne for taking a hook. Now, Jim Jones has a song. Jim Jones wanted to put Paws on Lil Wayne over a hook. Jim Jones has a song called Weatherman. And on this is just rappers being sensitive. All rappers recycle rhymes, recycle hooks, recycle beats. I mean, it's okay. Singers do it too, okay? So on the hook with Jim Jones, he says, weatherman with that money, I make it rain on him. Weatherman with that paper, I make it rain on him. Still ballin' after the hurricane. I'm a weatherman with that money, I make it rain on him. Okay. Cool. Make it rain on him was a thing around that time, just so you know. Make it rain, champagne, all that kind of stuff. Make it rain was just a term that a lot of people used around that time. They still use it today. So then, the same year, he drops a record with Fat Joe. It says, yeah, I'm a B-word with that terror. Got a handful of stacks. Better grab an umbrella. I make it rain. I make it rain. I make it rain in this B-word with the terror. I make it rain. I make it make. You know the song. It's just really the I make it rain part. That's it. I make it rain. That was a thing back then. And Jim Jones really felt like, since that song blew up, the one with Fat Joe, it was a bigger song. It was stealing. So he wanted to put Paws on him in the club, and Juelz stopped him from putting Paws on him. I wouldn't even have told that story because it's a dumb story, okay? He didn't steal the hook. He recycled something from a song you guys did. Probably didn't even charge Jim Jones for the song. Let's be honest. Jim Jones was on Koch at the time. Probably didn't even charge him. Probably was a favor because, he respected their relationship. Probably charged Fat Joe's label for the song. So, Plus, Lil Wayne recorded, around that time. I was in the studio with him one or maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. Every time I was in the studio with him, I saw him record 5 songs and 3 hooks or 3 features. I was like, this guy's a machine. He's like Mayweather of rapping. He's nonstop. He still probably does it to this day, just doesn't release a lot of music. Then he talked a little. He shut down Max B Talk. Maul asked him, yo, you and French are getting cool. And there was a time in the city where the tension was hot. The tension was hot because this is what's funny about Jim Jones and French getting back together. French Montana was down with Max B with that whole French Montana thing. I remember this time, okay? Because French Montana was hesitant at first to mess with Max B because there was so much tension between Max B and Jim Jones. I did one of the first Max B interviews when he split from Jim Jones. And Jim Jones held me personally responsible for a lot of the things he's saying that it wasn't even my fault, okay? Wasn't even my fault, okay? But Max B got off the label, and Max B was being held back by Jim Jones. I got close with Max B for about a year, like 2 years there, when did he go in? Did he go in 08? 07 and 08, we used to hang out. But French Montana got really, he was super tight with Max B. I would hang out with Max B periodically, and we talked. We had a good, we were cool, and he would tell me a lot of things, and it was the gripes of a lot of artists that get signed to a rapper that doesn't totally want to put everybody on, Not a lot of people came. A lot of people came from around Jim Jones, but Jim Jones didn't specifically put people on. A lot of rappers don't do that, like Jeezy and stuff like that. You get your Cam'rons and your 50 Cents and your Nellies that put rappers on. That's rare. A lot of them like to keep the rappers around them, but not totally put them on and make them competition. So anyways, Max B felt like he was being held back. He also had a case, and he felt like he had only so many years to make his dreams happen before he went in. So he decided to leave Jim Jones, and eventually tensions kept building up, and he started disrespecting Jim Jones with his girl, and Jim Jones, because Jim Jones was saying stuff back to him. They're both guilty in this. Max B probably shouldn't have been dissing his girl. Obviously, that's pretty, he knew how to, push Jim's buttons, and Jim knew how to push his buttons, and it was ugly. And then French Montana was saying the same things that Max was, in a sense, because he got in on it. And now that they're cool, but Jim Jones can't put aside the Max B thing, makes me believe that maybe what Max B was saying was true. Maybe there is a history there, and something happened, and he holds him personally responsible for the mere reason that he could forgive and be cool with French Montana. And there were some times where things were just, rappers get into these beefs over nothing. That whole beef was really not over something, and it didn't really have to go to, clashing members, and you got to watch your back, and things could get messy, or people just, lose their lives. It gets ridiculous. Sometimes rap beefs get ridiculous because it's really about nothing. So, but it turns into be about something because you make it like that. So, Jim Jones really just will never forgive Max B. There's been moments where he just says, hey, I hope he's good, but, whatever, Now he's doubling down again and saying, yo, he told Mal, don't ever mention that name. The only reason I'm letting you slide is because I like you. But you forgave French Montana. What's also funny is that, what's a coincidence? It's not funny. So, Jim Jones took Stack Bundles under his wing around 05, around that time, 05, 06. And French Montana took Chinks under his wing when Chinks came home. And what's funny is that Stack Bundles and Chinks were good friends, and they both went out similar ways, and they were both part of crews that, Stack was part of Bird Gang. First he was part of DJ Clue, Desert Storm, then he was part of Bird Gang with Jim Jones. And then Chinks was part of French Montana as rivals almost, but not at the same time, because Stack passed around 05, 06, so all around the same time, yeah. And Chinks passed just 6 years ago? Was that 5 or 6 years ago? And it's and they both died in Far Rockaway, But it's crazy that Jim Jones and French Montana were able to put their differences aside, and they both had two incredible rappers from Far Rockaway, that were best friends that passed the same way. It's kind of spooky. Jim Jones should really just let the Max B thing go. Max B's past it. He should get past it, and it should be done. It's really a lot of time has passed. For Jim to hold that grudge, it makes me think that what Max was talking about was true, And that would be something you just can't forgive, There was some truth to that, maybe. I don't know. But it's kind of crazy how he just locks onto that, but he forgives French. French went far with his problems with Jim Jones. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. What do you guys think about everything? I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.